Galesburg's 26 wins, 3 losses on the year, while the Moline Maroons record was not quite as impressive as the Silver Streaks. Good evening, I'm Mike White alongside of Tom Wilson for tonight's play-by-play action on Channel 7. Tonight our video is being provided by Channel 47 of Peoria, Illinois. So if you see some announcers or introductions with other people's names on them, that's why we're using our own audio, Channel 7's camera, Channel 47's cameras for tonight's ball game.
Mike, a tremendous atmosphere for tonight's super-sectional battle between the Streaks and the Maroons. And of course, who would have believed the 2 thrillers we had with Moline this year was not to be the last. There would be another meeting between the teams. Galesburg, of course, coming out of the sectional here in Peoria, and Moline winning on a last-second shot in the tournament, or the last couple of seconds in the tournament up at East Moline. The Silver Streaks tonight will be going with the same starting lineup that played throughout the sectional tournament. And of course tonight we're hoping from some good outside shooting from Mike Wilder. Rance Berry can find himself again. And of course for Moline it's been Jim Hallstrom, who scored 66 points in 2 ball games. And I would say the crowd's ready, I'm sure the ball clubs are ready, and the winner will be in the Elite Eight to face Morgan Park at 7 o'clock on Friday night. And of course the Silver Streaks are hoping to continue the streak that they've had going. A ball club that hopes to eventually maybe face Normal down in Champaign. Regardless, when Moline and the Streaks face each other, it should be a barn burner, and that's what we're looking for tonight.
Tonight's basketball game is brought to you in part by the Bank of Galesburg with their midnight tellers 6 days a week. Brought to you in part by McDonald's, located at 1072 North Henderson Street, home of the Big Mac and a special Shamrock Shake. Brought to you by Rosenick Realtors, 415 North Henderson Street. Let the professionals get results for you. Brought to you by Galesburg Sheet Metal, 277 East Tompkins Street, for complete heating and cooling systems. Brought to you by Pants Plus in the Hill Arcade. Pants, 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 and more pants. Brought to you by Complete Drywall and Painting, 474 North Cedar Street. Brought to you by Carson Perry Scott in the downtown village. And brought to you by Country Records Incorporated. And now we're going to have the starting lineups for tonight's ball game. Starting first of all, probably with the Galesburg Silver Streaks.
For the visiting team, the Galesburg
Silver Streaks will be the visiting ball club tonight, wearing their dark uniforms, the gold uniforms. Starting at 1 forward for the Galesburg Silver Streaks, number 31, Scott Kelly. Starting at 1 forward for the Silver Streaks, senior Rance Berry. Starting center, 6'9" senior Mike Campbell. At 1 guard, junior, number 25, Carl Finley. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Silver Streaks, Mike Wilder. Galesburg Silver Streaks are coached by 3rd-year coach Mike Owens. Starting at 1 forward position, number 42, Mark Robbins, a forward, 6'3" senior. Number 52, their top scorer, Jim Hallstrom, a forward, 6'5" senior. Number 44, forward, Tim Hoyt, is the starting center at 6'5". He's a senior. The only junior in the starting lineup for Moline is number 12, Dan Liljeburg, 5'10" guard. Rounding out the starting lineup for the Moline Maroons, Arlo Vallejo, number 22, a 6-foot senior. The Moline Maroons are coached by Herb Thompson.
Number 44, Tim Hoyt, was the young man that won the Sterling game with about a 15-foot shot with just a few seconds to go.
And now we're set for the opening tip-off of the 1976 Peoria Supersectional. We're in the Sweet 16 right now. The winner of this game will advance to Champaign for Elite Eight action. Jumping center, Jim Hallstrom and Mike Campbell as the organ plays. The crowd quiets and Galesburg gets the opening tip. First shot of the game put up by Rance Berry off the backboard, rebounded Campbell underneath, and he puts it in. Galesburg goes on top with 10 seconds gone in the first quarter, 2-0.
Streaks are out in a full court press to start the ball game against Moline.
Liljeburg brings the ball down court, guarded by number 13, Wilder. Liljeburg out front, looking down low on the give and go. Gets a pick, shoots from the top of the key. It's way short. Rebound Hallstrom, and it's all tied up at 2 and 2. A bad shot by Liljeburg fell into the hands of Hallstrom. Hallstrom put it right in the hoop.
Hallstrom's got some great moves underneath the basket.
Wilder outside gives to Kelly. Moline is in a 2-3 zone inside Finley, and a personal foul called. Personal foul call on number 44, Tim Hoyt. First foul of the game. 7:16 to play in the first quarter. It's tied at 2. Carl Finley out to Scott Kelly. Scott guarded by Vallejo. Finley in the corner to Wilder, drops it on the floor. Was going to shoot, doesn't. Now back to Kelly. A full house crowd at Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse, a very loud and enthusiastic crowd for both schools. Kelly from outside the key misses. Rebound and a foul call on Carl Finley. First foul on Finley. Both teams have one personal foul. The Streaks in a man-to-man full court press. Robbins brings the ball across the timeline out front to Liljeburg. Back to Robbins. Robbins, Vallejo guarded by Ransberry, gives to Hallstrom. 6:40 to play in the first quarter, and traveling by Liljeburg. Galesburg's Finley will inbound the ball for the Streaks to Mike Wilder.
Moline set up in that zone defense they've been using so often this season.
Mike Wilder with the basketball. Ransberry back to Wilder. Wilder back to Berry. Lob pass goes out of bounds. Moline will have the basketball. Robbins to Liljeburg. Liljeburg. The blonde guard gives off to Robbins, almost taken away by Wilder. Back out front, Vallejo. 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Each team has a field goal of tied at 2, and a foul. A late call on the personal foul.
Basketball is a funny game, Mike, and of course some ball players have tough luck in certain gyms, and no doubt Ransberry's had his problems here at Robertson Fieldhouse.
Robbins misses his shot, rebounds Scott Kelly for Galesburg. The foul didn't hurt so far, at least. 5:52 to play in the first quarter. Both teams have just one field goal. Low scoring first period. Wilder from the corner, no good. Batted around, rebound Vallejo for Moline. Vallejo guarded by Ransberry. He was their top scorer a year ago and fell off on a slightly better than average season this year. Vallejo misses. Now Mike Wilder bounced past to Kelly on the baseline, puts it up too hard, and a foul is going to be called on Mike Campbell, who did not have good position. Campbell went over the back of Mark Robbins. First foul on Campbell, second team foul on Galesburg. In the past 3 years, Coach Mike Owens for Galesburg has won 4 times and lost twice to Moline.
Streaks and Moline both seem to be a little bit tight here early in the ballgame, but they'll work it out as play progresses.
Hallstrom guarded by Campbell puts it up and in. Jim Hallstrom, who's averaging 30 points a ball game against the Silver Streaks.
He's got 70 against Galesburg so far in 3 ball games, and we're just starting the 3rd one.
4-2, Moline leads. Wilder to Kelly. Against a zone. Galesburg, Finley almost loses it out of bounds. Back out to Wilder. Wilder pumps from 15 and in and out. And the ball will not drop for Mike Wilder in the Bradley Fieldhouse. Now that one went in as far as they can go in without staying in. Moline comes back, Robbins. Top of the key, gives underneath, taken away by Kelly. Scott Kelly on the fast break. Scott takes it all the way down the floor. Mike Owens signals for a timeout. And Galesburg wants a timeout with the score, Moline 4, the Silver Streaks 2, 4:22 to play in the first quarter of action of the 1976 Super Sectional. We'll return for more basketball action after this. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, The Moline Maroon cheerleaders come off the floor, the Silver Streaks and the Moline players come back onto the floor. We're halfway through the first period of the Peoria Supersectional. So far in the first quarter, a very low-scoring game before a full house capacity crowd. The Streaks in the dark gold uniforms. The Ransberry in the corner. Back to Kelly. Scott Kelly's playing out the high post position. Back to Kelly at the free throw line. Shoots and misses. Rebound Vallejo. Now exactly 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Moline has it. Bounce pass to Robbins, looking underneath to Hallstrom. Hallstrom shoots over Campbell and hits it. And Jim Hallstrom has all of Moline's 6 points. They lead 6-2. Finley to Wilder. Mike Wilder looking inside, can't get it to Campbell. Wilder pumps it up. This time no good. Mike Wilder's 0 for 3 from the field.
Mike, the key thing is the Streaks are getting no rebounds on the offensive end of the boards.
Liljenberg goes around Wilder, misses the shot. Finley rebounds. Both ball clubs are doing a good job on the defensive boards and limiting the other team to no rebounds on offense.
Galesburg's only basket was on a rebound shot by Mike Campbell.
Now Mike Wilder has it. Inside, batted away by Robbins or Hoyt. 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. The score is 6-2. Moline in a tenacious defensive zone. Herb Thompson known for his zones, 2-3 zones especially. Berry back to Kelly. Moving the ball around the outside. Wilder pumps it again. This time it goes in for Mike Wilder. And Galesburg trails by 2, 6-4.
Mike Wilder and others have got a hit from the outside to bring Moline out of that zone.
Arlo Vallejo guarded by Ransberry, takes it to the hoop, doesn't, passes off in a basket. Tim Hoyt on a nice pass from Vallejo. It's 8-4 in favor of Moline. Carl Finley in the corner. Back to Finley, he pumps from 15 feet. And Carl Finley scores his first basket of the game. The score is Moline 8, Galesburg 6. Liljenberg guarded closely by Wilder. It's taken away by Wilder on the floor, picked up by Wilder off to Ransberry. What a hustling job of defense by Mike Wilder. No whistle, no foul, no jump ball. Now the Streaks have a chance to tie it up in the first period. Ransberry back to Wilder. Bounce to Finley. Finley drives the baseline. Double teamed inside to Kelly on the lane. A drive, misses, tip in good. And a foul on Moline. A basket will count for Scott Kelly. A foul on Tim Hoyt for Moline. Galesburg ties the score with 1:33 to play in the first quarter. 1:33 to play in the first quarter. Scott Kelly goes to the free throw line with the chance at the three-pointer. And the Streaks take their lead back. They led 2-0 and Moline had led throughout the entire first quarter. They lead now 9-8. Eric Doss into the Silver Streak lineup replacing Mike Wilder. Eric Doss, a 6'1 senior. Pass into Hallstrom, fakes, and he travels. Hallstrom put one too many moves on Mike Campbell and Scott Kelly and traveled. Now the Streaks will have a chance at a three-point lead. Doss to Finley in the corner, a stop and pops it up. No good, rebound Hoyt.
Streaks have no rebounding strength on that particular side. And I think the Streak coaches are trying to get some help over there.
Liljenberg inside, taken away by Finley. Into the Moline lineup is number 40, Brad Johnson. Pass to Kelly under the basket, reverse layup is good. Goaltending on Moline, the basket does count. Goaltending, Kelly put it in anyway. Galesburg leads 11-8. 48 seconds to play in the first quarter. 48 seconds to play in the first period of action. Vallejo guarded by Berry. Inside to Hallstrom, guarded by Campbell. Shoots over Campbell. High shot, goes in.
Mike, he actually just throws that ball up there with two hands. It's a very unorthodox shot. and he's found his spot.
If Hallstrom isn't an all-stater this season, it'll be quite a surprise. He's played tremendous against the Silver Streaks. Doss drives, a charge probably on Eric Doss. No, a foul called on Moline. A foul called on 44, Tim Hoyt for the Maroons.
Official warning the Moline bench also, Mike. Apparently the Moline coaches were up giving the officials a little problem. You wonder why he isn't receiving 2 shots.
Eric Doss doesn't get a free throw attempt.
That doesn't make much sense. He was going through there. Mike Owens is saying, how come we don't shoot? And that one, a little bit hard to figure out.
Back into the lineup, newcomer into the lineup is junior Rich Phillips, 6'5", number 50, right under the basket in there for Moline. Doss out to Berry, 20 seconds to play in the quarter. Carl Finley drops the basketball. Vallejo goes down for the layup. Give an assist to Carl Finley for dropping the basketball. 7 seconds to play in the quarter. Inside to Campbell, out of bounds. Moline will have it with 5 seconds to play in the quarter. Moline has a 1-point lead. 3, 2, 1. That's going to be the end of the quarter. The basket will not count after 1 quarter of action from Bradley University for the Peoria Supersectional. The score, Moline 11 and Galesburg 12. Back again at Peoria, Illinois. Our video feed is produced by the courtesy of Channel 47. Peoria, Illinois, the public broadcasting station in Peoria.
Well, Mike, Herb Thompson spent part of his between-quarter timeout talking with the officials. He seems to be disturbed about something. We wonder why Eric Doss wasn't awarded some free throws, but the Streaks and the Maroons go into the second quarter, and this is pretty much the way they've played it all year.
The tip goes to Galesburg. Mike Wilder back into the lineup, replacing Doss. Pass under Berry, shot in. What a pass from Mike Wilder to Rance Berry. In the first quarter for Moline, Jim Hallstrom had 8 points, Hoyt 2, and Vallejo 2 points. Galesburg now leads 13-12. Pass underneath and out of bounds. Vallejo had an open shot as Rance Berry fell down, and he passed off, and the ball went out of bounds.
Actually, Berry falling down, of course, sort of deceived the ball handler. He looked at Berry and then threw the ball straight out of bounds.
Mike Wilder to Carl Finley at the top of the right hand of the key. Ball is short, rebound Hallstrom. 7:25 to play in the first half. 13-12 to score. Vallejo drives. Berry blocks it. He puts it back up again. Campbell rebounds. A clean block by Berry. Now the Streaks back on offense. A 2-3 zone for the Maroons. 2 men out front, 3 men on the baseline. Phillips bats it away. Kelly on the baseline. Shot blocked by Hallstrom. And a foul on Jim Hallstrom, number 52. Scott Kelly will go to the free throw line with 2 shots. Scott has 3 points. 3 points in the first quarter. Fourth team foul on Moline. Galesburg now has a 2-point lead. Vallejo, a good ball handler for Moline. Guarded by Berry. Rance falls down again. Liljeburg open, fakes out Wilder. Mike Wilder way up into the air, and the Streaks cover up on defense. Now Vallejo passes off to Hallstrom. Hallstrom shoots and hits it. Just amazing. Jim Hallstrom puts it in. It's tied at 14.
He's got radar on that particular shot.
Mike Campbell to Mike Wilder. Back to Kelly. Kelly from the free throw line puts it in for Galesburg. Streaks lead by 2. Now the scoring pace picking up here in the second quarter. Vallejo looking underneath the Hallstrom. Gives it to Hallstrom. Works against Campbell. Turns around jumper too hard. This time Scott Kelly has the position. Picked off the Karam shot. 6 minutes to play in the first half of the 1976 Supersectional from Peoria. Two Western Big Six opponents, Galesburg and Moline, going at it with Campbell shooting, bouncing tip by Kelly. What a tip by Scott Kelly. A timeout called for by Coach Herb Thompson with 5:45 to play in the first half. The score, Galesburg 18, Moline 14. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That's Friday night on Channel Cable 12 will be a Movie Z. That's a promotion from Channel 47, Friday night on Cable Channel 12. Now back to the ball game. And the score, Galesburg 18, Moline 14.
Mike, an interesting thing happening with this Moline zone. Galesburg has had some mismatches against Moline. Vallejo has been caught on Scott Kelly a couple of times. And the streaks moving around a little bit on that zone and beginning to have some effect on it. Moline has turned the ball over several times, the streaks a few times themselves. But overall, the streaks playing pretty good defense.
Littlejohn out front. Jump shot put up by Brad Johnson. Number 40, Brad Johnson scores. Cuts the lead in half. It's now a 2-point cushion for the Silver Streaks.
Eric Doss banked one in like that in a sectional tournament.
Carl Finley bounced past to Ransberry. Back to Finley. Now Mike Wilder. Passing to the outside to Wilder. Hits it. Mike Wilder has 4 points. And maybe Mike Wilder's come out of that scoring slump that he's been in since the regional started.
Guarantee if Mike Wilder has found his eye, he's going to make it rough on the Moline Maroons.
Pass batted away by Campbell, picked up by Kelly. Good defense by the big man for Galesburg.
That's the way to defense against Halston.
Campbell in the corner, back to Berry. Wilder, Mike Campbell, bounce pass inside, taken away right back by Moline. Mike Campbell is way out in the corner that time on offense, lost the ball on a bad pass. Now Moline turns the ball over. It's taking turns by both squads on turnovers.
Kelly wide open. Mike Wilder couldn't see him.
4:15 to play in the first half. Streaks with a 4-point lead. Finley back to Wilder. Wilder at the free throw line. Ransberry goes to the basket, banks it in. What a pretty shot. A beautiful shot for Ransberry. 22-16, 4 minutes exactly to play in the first half. Galesburg with the biggest lead of the night. It's a 6-point lead. Pass inbounds, taken by Moline, almost taken away by Campbell. Now Hallstrom back to Littlejohn from 15 feet out.
Mike, the Streaks did a good job of defense, but Moline finally worked a man free. And of course, Moline, like normal, got to be two of the finest shooting teams against Galesburg this season.
3:30 to play in the first half.
Streaks are trying to draw Moline out of that zone right now. They're going to make them come out. They want to get some production out of Mike Campbell, and that's what they're trying to set up right now.
Mike Wilder looking to Campbell. Kelly is open. Dribbles, takes the dribble, shouldn't have dribbled, and lost the ball.
Scott, unfortunately, hesitated just a second. Instead of putting the ball up, he was looking for maybe Mike Campbell underneath.
Now 3 minutes to play in the first half. Vallejo's short shot, rebound Finley. Both teams have found a cold spot. Kelly is open. Wilder hits him with a long baseball pass. Kelly puts it in. Assist for Mike Wilder, and Scott Kelly did a good job hustling down the floor for Galesburg. A 6-point Streaks lead. Vallejo on the layup, shot blocked by Scott Kelly and out of bounds. Scott Kelly's best block shot of the year is 3 substitutes come in the lineup for Moline. Mark Robbins, number 42, into the lineup. Number 44, Tim Hoyt, and Rommel Foy into the lineup, replacing Arlo Vallejo. Foy is number 14. 3 out of 5 of the Moline Maroons sit down and take a breather. 2:38 to play in the first half as Littlejohn drives to the basket. Shot blocked by Mike Campbell out of bounds. Outstanding defense by the Silver Streaks. Rommel Foy, 14, underneath. Looking for Hallstrom, and Campbell's doing a good job keeping the ball away from Hallstrom. Liljeburg, top of the key. Down now to Hallstrom. He has the ball. Pass inside. Shot goes in. A nice move by Tim Hoyt. Basket by Hoyt.
Now Moline is trying to set up that mismatch, doing a lot of weaving underneath the boards, much like Manuel did against the Streaks.
2:08 to play in the first half. 4-point lead for Galesburg. Finley in the corner. Way outside, bad pass by Carl Finley. Carl Finley throws the ball out of bounds. Exactly 2 minutes now to play in the first half. Streaks on top, 24-20.
Moline, the big thing, Mike, they wanted to get more speed, more ball handlers in the ball game because they turned the ball over quite a few times.
Hallstrom to Liljeburg on the baseline. Back to Hallstrom. This time he's open. Misses. Finley shoots, and maybe that's the best defense, is leave him open because he's made him when he's guarded. Kelly on the layup. Scott Kelly 2 times on the floor, wide open, and Wilder hitting with the baseball pass.
Scott's really getting down the floor, Mike, doing a lot of hustling.
Liljeburg travels. A turnover on Moline, and Rance Berry fell down at half court, and Rance is having a hard time standing up. Maybe he's got something on his shoes, but he's fell down 3 times playing defense. 1:20 to play in the first half. 26 Galesburg, 20 Moline. Baseball pass to Campbell, high lob. High lob from Wilder to Campbell, too high and out of bounds. Back into the Moline lineup. Arlo Vallejo replacing Rommel Foy.
Mike, we hate to sound like a broken record, but there's the 6-point lead, and the Streaks weren't patient enough to work for that shot. Let's hope that Moline does not come back and score.
Personal foul called. Looks like it's going to be on Carl Finley.
That'll be 2 on Carl Finley if it is.
4th team foul on Galesburg. 2nd personal on Finley. No 1-and-1 as of yet with 1:03 to play in the first half. Neither team has reached the 1-and-1 in the first half. Moline inbounding the ball. Liljeburg in the corner now. Robbins directing traffic to Liljeburg. Robbins shoots from the corner, no good. Rebound Kelly, rebound Campbell. Now, baseball pass to Finley, almost out of bounds, saved in, batted away by Moline. Galesburg's lucky, they get the ball back. A bad pass saved by Finley, went off the hand of a Maroon. 46 seconds to play in the first half. Wilder to Finley. Mike Wilder hits from 15 feet out, bounces, and a personal foul on Mike Campbell. 2nd personal foul on Campbell. That will send Moline into the 1-and-1 with 40 seconds to play in the half. Mike Campbell out of position rebounding. At the charity line for Moline, Mark Robbins. Mark Robbins, 42, is a 6'3" senior. Now 37 seconds.
Hoyt has been on the back of the Galesburg rebounder several times, and yet there's been no call made, and now the Streaks maybe will wait for the last shot. They didn't wait around the last time down the floor, and it cost Mike Campbell a foul.
Now,
his 2nd.
20 seconds right now to play in the half. Wilder to Kelly. 16. They should take it to the basket right now with 12 seconds to play in the first half. Wilder to Kelly. Scott drives, puts up a shot into Campbell. Nice pass. Mike Campbell scores with 5 seconds to play in the half. Vallejo, 3, 2, 1. Shot by Vallejo out of bounds. After 1/2 of the 1976 Supersectional, the score from Peoria, Illinois, it's Galesburg 28 and Moline 20. (15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
1976 Supersectional action on TV7 Galesburg Cable TV. I'm Mike White alongside of Tom Wilson for tonight's play-by-play game. Tonight's production is being presented by the Channel 47 studios. By the Channel 747 studios in Peoria, Illinois.
Okay, Mike, the ball game started out on a rather rough note for the Silver Streaks. They were not hitting the offensive boards, could not hit their shots, and Carl Finley got them started with one from the corner, kind of breaking it from the outside. Mike Wilder hit a couple, and the Streaks got several fast breaks going. Of course, Jim Hallstrom kept things going for the Moline Maroons in the first quarter, and then the Streaks started to do a better defensive job and kept the ball away from Hallstrom. But the Streaks out shooting is beginning to keep Moline's defense honest, and the Streaks have been able to work several fast breaks against Moline with a long baseball pass. And I think one of the key things the Streaks defense has picked up, and Moline has turned the ball over several times in the first half.
For Galesburg in scoring in the first half, they are led by Scott Kelly. He's made 6 out of 10 field goal attempts and 2 out of 3 from the free throw line for 14 points. Moline is led by Jim Hallstrom, 5 of 7 from the field for 10 points. Galesburg gets the opening tip-off and has the basketball. The lineup for Galesburg: Wilder and Finley at guards, Berry, Kelly, and Campbell, the same starting lineup. The only other Streak to play in the first half was Eric Doss.
You don't need to be greedy, Mike, but you sure like to see the Streaks hit one to start this quarter.
Kelly up and out and back in again. It's 30 for Galesburg and 20 for Moline. Liljeburg. Moline with the basketball. Vallejo shoots. Misses. Arlo Vallejo is 1 for 8 from the field. Campbell under the basket, and a charge on Mike Campbell. Third personal foul call on Mike Campbell. A charge on Campbell. The ball went in.
Mike, that really hurts the Streaks. Mike's got 3 fouls on him now, and he's just doing a great job on Hallstrom.
Moline with the basketball. Mark Robbins guarded by Finley. Into Hoyt. Hoyt goes around Kelly, shoots over Scott, and Tim Hoyt scores. 6 points for Hoyt. 30-22 is the score. The Supersectional from Bradley University. Mike Campbell has Liljeburg, number 12, guarding him, a 5'10" guard. Liljeburg batted out of bounds. Moline in a 2-3 zone, as they did in the entire first half. 6:45 to play in the third period. Finley. Back to Wilder. Finley in the corner. Back to Wilder. Now Carl passes inside to Rance Berry. Nice pass to Berry. Doesn't drop. Tip. No good. Tip by Kelly. Campbell rebounds. No good. Rebound Vallejo. Galesburg had 3 shots at it. Couldn't put it through. The lead is 8.
Never did have real good control of the tips, but nice defensive play by Mike Campbell.
Mike Campbell's fronting Jim Hallstrom on defense, not letting him get the basketball, because once he gets it, he puts it in. Robbins back to Liljeburg. Liljeburg goes for the layup, gives to Hallstrom on the other side. Hallstrom high lofting jump shot, brings rain and scores 2. 30-24. The lead cut to 6. It was 10. Wilder to Finley. Carl Finley back to Wilder. Finley in the corner, pumps it from 15 off the front of the rim. Campbell rebounds. Mike Campbell baseline shot too hard. Kelly rebounds too hard. Berry rebounds. 2 Moline players pick it up, and now they travel. Galesburg had 3 shots. That's 6 shots in a row. The Streaks have missed under the basket on a rebound or a tip-in. Lob to Kelly, batted around, picked up by Rance Berry, traveled, no whistle. Now Finley goes up with it. Short, rebound Hallstrom. Baseball pass to Vallejo. Rance Berry blocks it. A whistle. Rance ended up in the chairs and knocked a woman out of her seat. No basket, and the woman is now picking up. There's the replay of it. Looked like a pretty clean block, but the official closer said it was a foul. Instant replay, courtesy of WTVP, Channel 47 Peoria.
Joe. Moline only shot one free throw in the first half and did not score any. Joe has only 2 points in the ball game. Potentially a high score. This time he puts it in. The lead is 5.
Well, Mike, the Streaks have done what's been predictable for them throughout this season. Build up the big lead and then let it start being cut down, and they aren't even coming close to the basket.
I thought the ref was in play. The ball didn't go out of bounds.
The ball never did go out of bounds, and we're right directly in front of it.
The ball did not go out of bounds. He blew the whistle and stopped the action, gave the ball to Moline. That's a questionable call, giving the ball to Moline without stepping out of bounds. Now Hallstrom has it on the baseline to Campbell. Lofting shot this time, too hard. Liljeburg rebounds on the floor, picked up by who? Berry gets it and gets out of the huddle. A scramble, a recovery by Berry. The Streaks come back and have been in a slump for about 2 minutes on offense. Scott Kelly. Cross to Finley. Almost a bad pass by Scott. Back to Scott. Now Mike Campbell in the corner. Mike shot no good. Rebound Hallstrom. 4:40 to play the third quarter. Moline is coming back. Galesburg is having problems. Shot no good. Rebound Finley. Bad pass by Carl Finley. That's the third bad pass of the game that Carroll's made to the Moline Maroons. 4:22 to play in the quarter. Inside Hallstrom. Goes to work. Bounce pass on the floor. Bad pass by Hallstrom. Kelly can't grab the handle. Throws the head of Wilder. It stays in bounds. Wilder shoots from 10 feet. And a foul on Ransberry. Timeout called for by the Galesburg Silver Streak coach Mike Owens. The score with 4:06 to play in the third quarter. Galesburg 30, Moline 25. (15, 14, 13, 12, 11). Hold it right here. Hold it right here. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That's a high shot of Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse. A lot of fans are up high. The Fieldhouse holds about 7,000 people. Tom Wilson and Mike White from Channel 7 among the Galesburg and Moline fans, and a big crowd here for the Supersectional.
Mike, it's kind of hard to believe the Streaks had the 10-point lead at 30-20 and have been playing like they're behind by about 10, playing in desperation, and Moline has another chance to cut the lead down to 3.
Liljeburg out front. Passes to Hallstrom, guarded by Mike Campbell. Hallstrom shoots and scores.
Mike Campbell's got to play him pretty honest, Mike, because he's got 3 fouls on him, and Hallstrom knows that. And I have a feeling the Streaks are going to have to make a defensive adjustment, and boy, have we gone cold from the field. We've even had some tips that wouldn't fall for us.
Now the lead was 10 is 3. Finley goes to the baseline. Bad pass by Carl Finley. Carl Finley throws it away. 3:25 to play in the third quarter. Moline can cut the lead to 1.
Moline scored the last 7 points of this ball game.
Liljeburg, the blonde guard, takes it down the lane, outside. Jump shot by Phillips, no good. Rebound, Ransberry. Phillips, number 50 at the lineup for Moline, missed. Now the Streaks haven't scored in about 4 minutes of play.
Streaks need a bucket to break the ice, get the momentum turned around the other way.
Galesburg has scored 2 points in 5 minutes of basketball in the third quarter, just 2 points. They led 28-20 at halftime. Finley, almost a bad pass. Now Ransberry, he shoots from 10 feet, too hard, batted up and in by, well, the basket will go to Campbell, but it could have been Rich Phillips who hit it in for Moline. Anyway, it goes for Galesburg on the scoreboard. It gives them 32 and back to a 5-point lead. 2:22 to play in the third quarter. From Peoria's Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse. Liljeburg travels. Into the Moline lineup, Rommel Foy, number 14. Rommel played in the earlier ball game of the season against Galesburg. He's not a scorer, mainly a playmaker and a defensive guard. An outstanding football player and trackster at Moline is Rommel Foy, 14. Now 2:07 to play in the quarter. Scott Kelly out front against a 2-3 zone.
Fans will remember Rommel Foy made the catch that beat Galesburg in football, that last second play out of Van Dyke Field.
Mike Wilder moving the basketball around the outside perimeter of the defense. Kelly to Wilder. Now Barry almost took the shot but didn't.
Barry probably had the shot, Mike, and maybe should have put it up.
Kelly back to Wilder with 1:37. Wilder shoots from way out, hits it in. Mike Wilder. 6 points for Mike Wilder. And it looks like Mike has found the range from the outside. Now 1:20 to play. Ball to Hallstrom, turn around, over Campbell. And Hallstrom is shooting one heck of a percentage tonight. At halftime, he had 10 points. He's had at least 4 the third quarter. Kelly at the free throw line, too hard. Rebound by Barry, and a foul's called on Scott Kelly. Foul on Kelly. Here's the instant replay. Scott shoots, follows for his rebound, and, well, a little bit of contact, but how much? Now Campbell, a 4th foul call on Mike Campbell. 4th foul on Campbell, and that's what Moline wanted, to get the big man on the bench. And Mike Campbell will have to sit down with 4 fouls as Raleigh Williams comes into the Galesburg lineup.
Well, now here's where we're going to need some strength out of Raleigh Williams off that bench. And Raleigh is probably the most improved Silver Streak over the past few ball games. He's really been coming on strong. And of course, as a sophomore, was a great defensive player.
Jim Hallstrom hits his first free throw attempt of the night. And it looks like he's accurate at the free throw line as he is from the field. Moline trails by 4. Now the score, Galesburg 34, Moline 31. Mike Campbell has 4 fouls with 55 seconds to play in the third quarter. Could be a crucial turning point in the ball game.
Well, the Streaks have had to play without a Kelly and a Campbell, one of the two, on several occasions this year, and they got the material to stick in here without him.
Raleigh Williams to Rance Berry. They'll wait for the last shot of the third quarter. Raleigh Williams goes to the basket. Now back to Berry. 29 seconds. Wilder over to Finley. Carl back to Wilder. They take it nice and easy with 20 seconds to go. Now they should begin to go to the basket. 18. Bounce pass to Finley. Carl back to Wilder. 14. Mike in the corner, baseline. Scott drives, puts it up. No good. Tip, no good. Tip by Finley, good. And that's going to be the end of the quarter. At the end of 3 quarters of play from Peoria, Illinois, the 1976 Supersectional, the score, Galesburg 36, Moline 31. (15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Ready for the 4th and final quarter of the 1976 Supersectional Cable TV Basketball with Mike Wright and Tom Wilson.
Well, Mike, the Streaks are 8 minutes away from a trip to Champaign, something that, of course, has been their goal now for many of these ball players for 3 years. Mike Campbell has 4 fouls, and he's on the bench. Scott Kelly had to sit out against an opponent last Friday night, and here we go, the final 7:55.
Rommel Foy gives the ball to Vallejo as Moline got the tip from Hallstrom to Foy. Looking now to Hallstrom. Galesburg's in a zone. Scott Kelly, Hallstrom cross. Rich Phillips doesn't shoot. Now Foy doesn't shoot. He's not a shooter. Bad pass by Foy. Wilder down to Raleigh Williams, and Mike Wilder threw the ball away. Bad pass by Wilder, and he looks like he was telling Raleigh to grab hold. A little bit overthrown and out of bounds. Gives it to Moline. Streaks on top, 36-31. Williams takes it away. Bad pass by Foy, and Raleigh saved it, but it went back to the Maroons. Looking underneath the Hallstrom, and ball on the floor. Now Foy has it. No traveling, no jump ball. Moline. Timeout called for by Moline. Herb Thompson wants a timeout to talk about that zone put on by the Silver Streaks. It's a 2-3 zone. There's a timeout on the floor called by Moline with 7:10 to play in the game. The score, the Galesburg Silver Streaks 36, the Moline Maroons 31. Fifteen, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Well, we're back at Robertson Memorial Fieldhouse, and I would say for sure that Galesburg coming up on that zone surprised the Moline Maroons. And they were having a lot of trouble penetrating that ball. They've taken a timeout. Let's see if the Streaks can keep up the good defense.
7:06 to play in the game. Underneath the Hallstrom basket, goaltending on Finley. Carl Finley was up in the rim. The ball counts. It went through the hoop anyway. Cuts the lead down to 3. Mike Campbell sits on the bench for Galesburg with an 18-point scoring average. Mike Campbell has 4 fouls. Scott Kelly's been the Streaks leader on offense, although it's a low scoring output for the team, only 33 points so far in the game. Now Rance Berry shoots and scores from the top of the key. Rance had 4 points so far in the game. And
well, you'd like so much, Mike, to see the Streaks be able to put a team away before they get the champagne, to get that big one and pull away, something they have been unable to do for a long, long time. And you just sit here and hope that this might be the night they can get the job done.
The 2-3 zone, ball inside, lob out of bounds, and it goes to Galesburg. The lob pass from Hoyt to Hallstrom, too high and too hard. Raleigh Williams doing a real tough job on defense for the Streaks, replacing Campbell. Rance Berry back to Wilder, 6:15 to play in the game. Galesburg 38, Moline 33. Berry to Kelly. Mike Wilder playing just about the entire ball game at the playmaking guard position. Berry to Kelly. Scott doesn't shoot. Now Wilder will. And Mike Wilder is picking up where he left off before he ran into a scoring slump. Mike Wilder's put him in from the outside tonight. Pass to Hallstrom underneath. Got position. Raleigh Williams takes it away. Williams took it away, and Hoyt took it away from Williams. Tim Hoyt scores 2. That time they got the ball to Hallstrom, but he didn't get the shot off.
You question how long they can be down there in that lane. They must have just made it.
5:25 to play in the game. Galesburg on top by 5. They've led by as many as 10. Scott Kelly takes it, almost travels. Mike Owen stands up and signals to Scott to put the ball up. Shoot it. Now 5:04 to play in the game. Wilder up in the air. Saved by Raleigh Williams. A shot by Kelly in. Raleigh Williams playing outstanding basketball coming off the bench for Galesburg. Raleigh Williams saved a bad pass. And a timeout called for by Coach Herb Thompson as Galesburg leads by 7. The score with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. The score, Galesburg 42, Moline 35.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The man in the black and white holding the basketball, one of the two officials for tonight's super sectional game. Moline will have it right there at half court with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the game.
Raleigh Williams playing with the confidence he showed as a sophomore a year ago. He's doing a great job in there. He's playing loose. Of course, Moline hasn't had a chance to see Raleigh too much this year. And now if the Streaks can keep up that defense.
Galesburg in a 2-3 zone. Moline's played the same type of defense the entire game. Galesburg started in a man-to-man. Hallstrom reverse layup, and you're not going to stop him all the time.
We figured Moline would come out in a press. It was just a matter of time. I have a feeling Herb Thompson would have liked to have waited until later in the ballgame to do it. But I think he felt down 7. They had to start making a move, so they're coming out early.
4:20 to play in the game. Finley in the corner. Gives out front Scott Kelly playing way out front between the circles.
Of course, the longer they can kill that clock, the longer they can play without Campbell.
And Scott Kelly hits the baseline jumper. 44-37. Liljeburg to Vallejo. Vallejo to Hallstrom. Shot blocked. No, it's a pass and a basket by Tim Hoyt. Basket by Hoyt. Now a full court press put on by Moline. Timeout called. Mike Owens wants a timeout. Mike Owens signals for a timeout, and we'll keep it here right now. Galesburg Silver Streak huddle right there on your screen, and Mike Owens giving some definite instructions to the Silver Streaks. Hard to tell what they are.
Mike Campbell is going to check back into that Streak lineup, Mike, and I think that's one of the reasons the Streaks called a timeout, to get Mike back in the ballgame.
Here's an instant replay. Pass from Vallejo to Hallstrom, and a basket by Tim Hoyt. Moline Maroons with the maroon jerseys, white pants, and white jerseys. Talking with Whitey Verstrate, assistant coach, and head basketball coach Herb Thompson. Right there is a promotion on Channel 47 Wednesday night, Channel 12 cable. As the Galesburg Silver Streak fans stand up, and that's about, well, 3,000 people. About 3,000 people here from Galesburg, maybe 3,500 here from Galesburg and Moline. Over 7,000 people here in the field house for this super sectional high school basketball game. Now Mike Campbell back in the lineup, the original lineup for Galesburg. Wilder, Finley, Berry, Kelly, and Campbell. Wilder gives to Kelly. 3:35 to play in the game. Galesburg leads by 5. Scott to Finley for the layup. No good. Out of bounds. Galesburg.
Mike, that was a set play that came off the bench for the Silver Streaks, and unfortunately Carl was just a little too far out when he made the turn. Good effort, though.
Now
that would have been a big one.
Galesburg has it out to Kelly. 3:20 to play in the game. Streaks lead by 5. Wilder. Wilder out front. 3:10 to play in the game to Finley. Almost a hard pass by Scott. Out of bounds. Touched last by Carl Finley. Good defense by Moline as they double-teamed Finley and knocked it off of his knee. 3 minutes now to play in the game.
Here's where you really need the defense. You need strong defense.
Jump shot short. Rebound Galesburg. Jump shot by Johnson. Missed the mark. 2:50 to play in the game. Wilder to Ransberry. Mike Wilder. Wilder off to Finley. Finley on the corner, jump shot good, and Galesburg has a 7-point lead. A 7-point lead for Galesburg. Ball outside to Vallejo. Vallejo from 20 feet out misses, gets his own rebound, shoots, and Finley, Carl Finley, way up in the air doing the rebounding for Galesburg. Carl Finley. Now we're getting down to the time. 2:10 to play in the game. Galesburg leads by 7. 46-39. Berry to Wilder. Mike Wilder from the free throw line short. Tipped by Finley. Rebound Ransberry. And a foul call on Jim Hallstrom. Foul on Jim Hallstrom. Second foul.
22:03 to play in the game.
Mike, this is where the Streaks have got to show some patience, not get rattled and hold on to the basketball and just work for the perfect shot.
1:57 to play in the game. Wilder guarded by Liljeburg. Streaks a 7-point cushion. Out to Berry. Mike Campbell in the game with 4 fouls. 1:45 to play. Things are looking good for Galesburg. Ball on the floor, picked up by Moline. Now Moline on the floor. Campbell off to Moline down the floor, and should be a layup. Moline. The lead is now 5 with 1:30 to play. Moline is pressing all over the floor. Wilder double teamed, having problems. Throws to Scott Kelly. Timeout called for by Scott Kelly. 1:22 to play in the game. A timeout on the floor. The score, Galesburg 46, Moline 41.
And Mike,
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
well, we're down to the final minute and 22 seconds, and another one of those cliffhangers. The Streaks have taken a timeout, and I do believe that is Galesburg's 5th timeout, at least their 4th of this ball game. Now the Streaks are going to have to hold on to the basketball, and Mike, I would imagine that Moline will not wait too long before they foul the Streaks, because they've got to get the basketball back. What the Streaks need real bad here is a bucket at this end of the floor, then go down and really put the defense on the Moline Maroons. So here we go, 1 minute and 22 seconds to go. Kelly and Campbell chatting on the opposite side of the floor, talking over what they're going to do about the situation, and here we go.
Carl Finley double teamed off to Wilder. Wilder baseline to Kelly. Scott Kelly goes for the layup, and a foul is going to be called. No basket. Foul call on number 44 for Moline, Tim Hoyt. No 1-and-1 yet for the Silver Streaks. The instant replay, bounce pass. Kelly goes for the layup. A knee was pushed by Hoyt.
Now the Streaks need nothing fancy. They just need to hold on to that basketball.
1:08 to play in the game. Carl Finley gets around Vallejo, back to Wilder. Herb Thompson yelling, play tight defense out there. Get on him. Now a foul called. And Liljeburg got an elbow after the foul. 59 seconds to play in the game. Rommel Foy reports in the lineup. Rommel Foy reports in the lineup for Moline. He'll be putting pressure on the guards out front with 59 seconds to play. Only the 3rd team foul. Is that what he said? Not yet the 1-and-1. Foy replaces Liljeburg with 59 seconds to play. Wilder out front to Campbell. Bad pass from Wilder. Taken away by Campbell. What a defensive job by Campbell. Wilder under to Kelly. Layup by Kelly. Galesburg leads by 7, and that could be the ball game. That could be the ball game. Galesburg on top by 7 with 42 seconds to play. Rommel Foy. Now Arlo Vallejo underneath to Holstrom. And a basket. They'll give him the basket. 33 seconds. A 5-point streak lead. Out of bounds to Galesburg. Exactly 30 seconds on the clock. Galesburg with the basketball and has a 5-point lead.
Almost too bad we don't have a timeout here and cock this thing over.
5-second violation on Galesburg. Eric Doss into the lineup for Rance Berry. Eric Doss will help bring the ball down and hopefully hang on to it. Now Galesburg has to play defense. It's not quite over. It looks good, but 5 points.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you what, Mike Campbell made a defensive play in this ball game. It really looks big.
And a foul on Mike Wilder, it looks like. And Galesburg's trying all they can to give the ball game away because they turned it over, gave it away. Now Moline will have the 1-and-1 and only 1 second off the clock.
I'm sure that we don't have a timeout left, Mike, or Galesburg surely would have taken it right here, even to make Hallstrom think about it, if that can even do anything against a ball player like Hallstrom.
Someone threw something on the floor. Hallstrom stopped the action. Now he'll attempt the free throw with 29 seconds to play. Super sectional action. Galesburg 48, Moline 43. And now it's not over now because it's going to be down to the final seconds. Galesburg leads by 4 with 29 seconds. Now it's 3, and they've got to hold on to the basketball. A foul by Vallejo. A foul on Arlo Vallejo for Moline.
Well, Mike, I'll tell you what, there's only one thing to say right here. We need the free throws.
And no free throws, only the 4th team foul this half on Moline.
You know, there might be some advantage to this situation for Galesburg, to be quite honest, if they can hold on to the ball.
Ball to Scott Kelly. Kelly down to Campbell, 26, off to Finley for the layup. No, he holds it up. Now Scott Kelly, back to Campbell. They want to hold on to the basketball. 19-17, and a foul call on 44, Tim Hoyt. The instant replay. Boy, that almost could have been a charge on Kelly. That was a tough call. Awful tough call on Kelly, but the break goes for Galesburg, and Galesburg needed a break. The instant replay, well, it could have gone either way. With 17 seconds to play, Galesburg will have the basketball, and Scott Kelly will be at the free throw line with the 1-and-1. 48-45, and right now I'd lay my dollars at Friday night. Galesburg will be playing Morgan Park down at Champaign in the Elite 8.
You know, Mike, Galesburg has got to get a patent on the way they end up ball games. And here's Mr. Scott Kelly at the line, and of course every free throw anybody shoots is big in tournament play. But if Scott Kelly could sink these 2 free throws, I think the odds are that you could pack your bags for Champaign. We need the free throws. A similar situation, of course, Moline against Sterling, when Sterling could have iced the ball game. But Scott Kelly needs these free throws. And it's coming right down to this situation, and Scott Kelly has probably played one of his finest ball games in many, many ball games. So here we go, 17 seconds between Galesburg and Champaign.
About a week ago, Mike Campbell was in the same situation with 5 seconds to play against Manuel. He made the first one, and it cinched the ball game. Now Kelly makes the first one. Galesburg leads by 4. The Streaks lead by 4 points with 17 seconds to play in the game. Liljeburg to Vallejo. 16, 15. Hoyt. Cross court to Vallejo. Inside Hallstrom. Turnaround jumper with 10 seconds. Misses. Rebound Campbell. Wilder with 6 seconds. And a foul's going to be called. And it looks like Galesburg on to state. The Galesburg fans stand up, begin cheering. The Moline fans begin their ride home. The instant replay, a personal foul called. And
Hallstrom just shook hands with Scott Kelly, Mike, and congratulated him, and that is quite a gesture.
(51-45), 6 seconds to play. Wilder made the first. Mike Wilder makes the second one. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's the ball game. Galesburg wins. Galesburg wins the ball game, advances to Champaign for the Elite 8. The first time since 1969, Galesburg goes down to state. Final score tonight, Galesburg 52, Moline 47. A close ball game. Galesburg led by as many as 10, and then cut back the lead. Unofficially, here's the scoring.